What's
So
good, bro? We are live. I pressed the wrong button by accident. So we are live. It is what it is.
let's go.
What's goody, my guy?
Not much, man. It's been a long day. Kind of had a headache and everything, but I'm okay.
I feel you. Oh shoot. What we about to talk about probably gonna give you a headache too, man. It's been a long week. Long 2 weeks, I should say.
Long two, yeah. This football season was so exciting and is slowly diminishing the excitement.
Yeah, dude. It's been bad, man. Like we gotta figure it out at some point. We got people popping in. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? How are y'all doing? If you are on Facebook, you gotta go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to make sure we can see your comments. If you're on YouTube, you are good. Philly girl, what's good?
To make it
Welcome,
easy,
welcome.
just go to YouTube. Just click the link and get to
Exactly,
YouTube. Make it easy.
exactly. Just go on over to YouTube. It's gonna be an even longer season. I can tell it's gonna be fun. So we obviously know we obviously just heard with Jalen Rager
These
gonna be
injuries
out 6 to 8
piling up.
weeks. 6 to 8 weeks, man. What are you thinking?
I I'm in a loss of words, man. Only because is he like a major factor in our team right now? I mean, not really. He only had 4 catches last game, but he's a distraction. He has the speed. He has the ability to break the field, to get open downfield. And the fact that we're losing that when we were just stressing how much we wanted speed and how we got these young guys to come in to kind of be the anchor so then we wouldn't have to play at Deshaun Jackson all the time. So he could stay healthy. And then we lose him to an injury like this, a thumb injury that he's going to need surgery on. It sucks, to say the least.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks ain't no joke.
No.
Luckily, Drew Brees had the same type of injury. You know what I'm saying? But he was only out for 5 weeks, and he was like 4,000 years old. So hopefully, Jalen Rager's young body can snap back a little bit quicker. But I mean, he wasn't a huge part of our offense, I guess you could say. But like you said, he was the speed. Is something that we lacked last year, and we need it.
Right.
Deshaun Jackson hasn't really been just Deshaun Jackson, so it's definitely something that we need, in my opinion. What's good, Kev? We are good today, Philly girl. We just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Talking a little bit of football. But I'm not gonna say it's gonna like we should still win against the Bengals. Like
For
this is
sure.
not no excuse or anything.
Right.
We did get a little bit of news as far as the guards go as well. So Matt Pryor is going to be starting at right guard, and Nate Herbig is going to go ahead and move over to left guard. So that should be interesting. When I first heard that, I was actually impressed because Nate Herbig has been doing his thing.
Right.
Even when you watch the film, he's done pretty well, man. I can't hate on the guy.
Now, is he naturally a left guard? Is that why they're moving him back? Because
I
after
believe so.
what?
I believe
Okay.
I believe he's a center. I believe that's what we drafted him
Oh,
to be. So,
okay.
it is what it is. Maybe he
I
likes that side of the middle a little bit better.
right.
I don't know. But he did good on the right side. So, I'm excited to see him
He
get a
held his
shot.
thing. I watched. You showed me a video on someone breaking down how Nate Hurt was playing this past weekend. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse or anything because obviously it's Wednesday now. We all know how the Rams game went. If some people didn't check out Joe on Philly Notion last night, they went into depth about the Rams game, and it's just insane. But Nate Herbig is a bright spot. You got to look at some of the positives in games like that. Is it unfortunate that we lost? Yeah, Rams are a good team. I believe Philly Notion said it. Like, it's okay that we lost to a good team. It's the way that we lost.
Yep.
Our defense is supposed to be one of the best rush stopping defenses, and yet we let up 192 yards on Sunday to a bunch of different people, wide receivers, Henderson, who's not even a team name. Like, that guy, he's just a guy, and we let him rush for almost 81 yards and stuff
Yeah,
like
they
that.
beat
So
us up. They
so
beat
it's
us
just
up.
like it's just embarrassing the way we lost. It wasn't that we
Yeah,
lost; it was just the way that we lost, which was just embarrassing.
facts. And Philly Girl says something's missing. I was confident with our backups a few years ago. This year is different. You know, my boy Eagle Season said he was like, it's weird that we played better with our backups when we were hurt than when we're actually pretty healthy this year. Now, this is a question I want to know because I keep seeing that we have not beat them in a long time. I want to know the actual number. So if you know that Philly guy, I would love to know. I would actually love to. I probably don't want to know, but I would love to
I
know.
mean,
Tracy
we
Dickerson
have to
says,
be able to beat the Bengals. The
yeah,
Bengals, their defense is not good. Like in the last two games, they have allowed 370 rush yards. Like Miles Sanders should be able to eat this game. And they let the quarterbacks complete something around like 60% of their passes. So if we just need to execute, run Miles, because when we were running Miles, he was doing well against the
yeah.
Rams, and that's against a solid front
Look,
four.
if he's gonna have a bounce back game, him being Carson Wentz, this is perfectly set up. Oh, we lost. Oh, he's back. This is perfectly set up to be the game that he has a big comeback. You know, this like you said, this defense is not, you know, a world beater. This is a game we should definitely win, just
Right.
like the Washington game was. It gets a little bit rougher, you know, when you start losing people, but like I said, it's no excuse. And then shout out to Tracy Dickerson. She says, "I love my Eagles. Ride and die with them." I feel you.
That's a
You got
fact.
to. You
That's a
got to.
fact.
And then my boy Kyle said, "Fins up." They, you know, hey, they're not losing by much. You know what I'm saying? Did
I'm
they win
waiting
again?
for Tua. When's
Have
Tua
they
going
won
in?
yet?
No, I don't think so. They're
But
only
you know,
two, I
it's like,
believe.
hey, yeah, I think everybody wants to. We appreciate all the lights and everything. It's been close to 20 years. I'm looking to get. Woof,
What?
woof. We haven't beat them in a while. Well, I mean, if you think about it, back in the day, they had Ocho Cinco, TJ Hushmanzada, who
I mean, I know we
called me
lost. I
smart. That's
believe
all I
Wentz had a
remember that.
bad game against the Bengals, but we were at Cincinnati. I'm pretty sure AJ Green was probably like 3 years younger. I think we played him Wentz's rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. And then they had Andy Dalton and probably a little bit better of offensive line. I don't know, but I,
A
if
younger AJ Green.
a younger AJ Green, but if our defense steps up the way that they should with the players that we have, minus the linebackers, that's our biggest issue. I'm going to keep
That's
stressing that until one day when we pick up somebody because our linebackers. Mm-mm,
maybe
mm-mm.
on the field. You know how I feel about our defense. You know who I think is the
The
biggest
culprit.
problem. Yeah, you know. I mean, look, this is like I said, it goes for Jim Schwartz and that defense as well. Just like you said, for Carson Wentz, you need to have your comeback game against this subpar defense, and
Right.
for Jim Schwartz and that defense, you need to make your. You know, this isn't really. It wouldn't be a comeback for the defense. It's more just like this is what we can do. You know what I'm saying? You have to put something good on paper because, like, you know, I gave them a little bit of a break on the Washington game because of our offense, but like that Rams game was just embarrassing. Like everybody said, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the overall feeling about that.
And I felt bad for Wentz. He ruined his. I mean, he didn't ruin, but his record is broken now. Like he had like 19 straight games with a touchdown, and this one he doesn't. And instead he pushes for a. He said in his press conference today, he's like, "Yeah, I thought he was open," and then he wished he could
Woo!
take back that throw. But
20 years. We beat
damn.
them in
But
2000.
how many times have we played them since 2000? You know what I
I
mean?
don't care. That's a big number right there. 20 is a big number.
Oh man, what
Appreciate you,
team was
Philly
it? I
girl.
think it's like
That's
the
crazy.
Jets that we've have like never lost to. So
Yeah,
I guess you
we
have
beat up on the Jets.
there's some
We never
teams.
lost to well, not never, but we were like 19-0 for a while against the Rams at home. Philadelphia won 16-7. The two times prior were 97 and 91. So hey, it's
Those were good
time.
years. Those were
Yeah,
good
you know what I'm
years.
saying. It's time to start getting it going. You know what I mean?
I mean, we're home. Granted, it doesn't really mean too much because of the fans, but the fact that they get to sleep in their own bed and not have to travel, hopefully, have fired Jim Shorts.
Gym short. I had to think of that. I was like, do I have my shorts somewhere? I'm like, hold up, what the heck?
I
That's
cleaned up, I
funny. Yeah,
swear.
yeah, right. I was like, I swear I didn't have anything. She said, we played them 4 times since then. One game was a tie, and I remember
Oh,
that
that's
one.
the
Okay,
McNabb
I do
tie when he's
remember
like,
that one. Yep.
I didn't know we were going to end in a tie.
That one, yeah, that was just ridiculous. I mean, look, then no time like the present to start a new tradition. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have to turn it around. If we're gonna be terrible this year, then we're gonna be terrible this year. It is what it is. But just don't be terrible this week. I can't have an aneurysm this early in life. But so let's move on to this week. What are you looking forward to seeing? Because I mean, like Kevin said, we got to stop mixing. So I mean, that's a big thing. But
Right.
what are some of the things you looking forward to seeing?
Well, we got to stop mixing, but on top of that, Joe Burrow in the Thursday night game against the Browns, he threw 61 times. So they're willing to throw the ball. They want to get Burrow comfortable. They want him to be able to read defenses and kind of get comfortable in the game. So what's going to really matter is our linebackers going to cover. Are they going to be able? And is Jim Schwartz going to run man to man? I hope not. Hopefully, he kind of confuses a young quarterback. This isn't a veteran or anything. It's a rookie, so give him some confusing things. Show man, but play zone. Do things that people do in Madden. They do it all the time. I get confused.
Yeah,
you can do it in real life.
Facts.
But I mean, I wish that we could have seen Rager break out. Maybe some of the other young guys come in, Hightower or someone, and can create that big play, or maybe even just focus on the tight ends and run game. Try to get those big splash plays when you can, but with Ertz and Goddard not getting too much action last week, I think Ertz got targeted maybe 8 times last week. So try to get them more involved. Get comfortable, get like loose, but not too loose where you're just throwing the ball wherever. Maybe Carson doesn't throw sidearm all the time. I hate that sidearm throw he's been doing lately. But just kind of getting back in the groove. This is the game to do it. If you're going to do it and you're going to win, this is the game to get comfortable, because a couple of games after this.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear no BS about like home field advantage. Oh, we didn't have fit. They better not complain. They better go out there and show out, especially Carson. Especially, I need good play calling on defense. I'm not going to keep saying fire Jim Schwartz. I'm going to say, though, we do have to be better on defense, because especially the run game, because that's where we start. That's like I said, that's kind of been our staple. We've, always been good, at least the past, 3-4 years at run defense. And now that's starting to peter off. And that's scary. Right. You know what I'm saying? When you start sucking at the one thing that you were really good at, that's not good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hopefully we have Fletcher Cox. He's like 50-50 with an oblique injury. So hopefully we have him. Other than that, we have depth. So
we have depth. That's the one position where we do have depth. Like you're right. It's the defensive line. I mean, we have Ridgeway, we have Malik Jackson, we have Hargrave.
You got to make
Sweat,
it happen.
Barnett,
and they were getting bullied around, bro. They were getting bullied around all game last time. And if you look at one, I want to say it was like the last big run. It was in the fourth quarter. It was like a 40-yard run where Jalen Mills missed the tackle. But either way, I want to say it was Hassan Ridgeway that just got bullied. He just got like pushed off and it's like, bro, like they have a good offensive line. Don't get me wrong, but their boy Whitworth is like 90 years old. And he was pushing around like 26, 27-year-olds. Like, you can't have that, man. You cannot have that.
You don't work out all summer and all off season just to get pushed around by an old man.
Facts, bro. Facts.
But yeah. I mean, I'm excited. We hopefully this is the game that can show like, okay, even if we win, I don't expect to like run around parading and be like, yeah, look how bad we won or how good we won, blah blah blah. It's just I'm just hoping that we don't lose, because we do play the Steelers, we do play the Ravens. I mean, we have some tough matchups coming up that we need to win. We need to win.
It's a must-win game. It's early in the season, but unfortunately, that's the position that they put us in. And like you said, we have some hard matchups coming up. So she said 9-3-1 Cincinnati leads. Why are we bad against Cincinnati? That's a weird team to be bad against. I mean, they were good in the 90s and 2000s, I guess.
Right. I mean, they had TJ Hushmanzada. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he called me smart.
Yeah. So that was a good question, though. That kind of tripped him up a little bit. He was all like, oh, man, one word? Damn. Well, he didn't know what to say.
Yeah, bro. I felt famous for a second, dude. That shit was amazing. So, but you know, like I said the other, I think it was a couple of days I was talking about it. But we have one thing that I guess we can look at and be happy about, and that's that we haven't had any major injuries yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there is somebody that a lot of people are trying to oust. So, what are your actual feelings about the whole Hurts and Wentz
I
situation?
was actually just about to ask you that if you didn't bring it up just now, because it's everywhere. If you follow any Eagles fan page, anything, even on ESPN, First Take, there are people like Max Kellerman saying, this is all Wentz's fault, and right now that the reason why the Eagles are losing and everything like that. So, I mean, you pay the guy $100 million, whatever the number is. It's a lot of money. I don't see the only way I can see Hurts coming in is if Wentz does like maybe early on in this game against the Bengals and is struggling bad, throws an interception that's ugly, that was just a bad decision and stuff like that. And he gets benched like I've seen other veterans get benched in the past on other teams. And hopefully that's just a kick in the butt. Like, all right, you know what? You're sitting this one until you figure it out. And then Hurts comes in. I don't imagine Hurts really doing too well early on. Maybe he might be able to get some plays where you're like, oh, that's exciting. Like he was able to break the pocket and stuff, but he didn't even get to play preseason. He hasn't really experienced an NFL semi game, let alone actually be in one, except for pretend like for the gadget plays that they put in last week where they pretended like we were going to hand it off to him. But I mean, and it kind of worked. We got a couple yards off
Yeah,
of
those
those
are some of
plays.
our better plays.
Um, but he hasn't had an opportunity to really throw the ball against other teams yet. So I really don't expect the Eagles to do that unless Carson Wentz really stinks it up.
Yeah, no, he's got to be pretty bad. It's gonna be drastic if it happens. I do not see it happening. But let's kind of switch to the back to Jalen Rager real quick. I want to know what you think, or who you think I should say, will kind of fill that void. Like we do have Alshon coming in a week or two, but we have people like Hightower, JJ Arcega Whiteside. I think is still on the team somehow. I have no idea. But
That dude just
and
can't
then
get open.
yeah, he just can't do anything right. But so who do you think can really like fill that void that Jalen's going to kind of leave for us?
I think Greg Ward might. I think Carson had a good connection with him last year. I think with the addition of the rookies this year, it's kind of put Greg Ward in the backseat a little bit because it's just like we want to get the young guys involved and really showcase their talents, especially Rager. Um, but I think this week, I think because he's out, I think Greg Ward's going to be seen more. I think he's going to get those 5 yard hitches or out routes and stuff like that that him and Carson have a good connection with. Open up the field so that maybe Deshaun can hit one deep. Although Deshaun was our leading receiver last game, so I'm seeing that Carson's getting a little bit more connected with Deshaun, but I really see Greg Ward this week. What are
I
you
hope
thinking?
so. I got him on my fantasy team, so I don't
I
know what
would,
I'm going to
yeah,
do.
yeah,
I
I would
don't.
not start Greg
Well,
Ward.
he'd be like my like fifth wide receiver, but shout out to Unbothered. You know, he said I'm still stuck at the on the Washington game. Yeah, that was the Washington team embarrassment. I can't read, my bad. But yeah, that was just terrible, bro. It was, yeah. And you know, it makes every other loss worse. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like we said, if we lost last night, this Sunday, if we lost Sunday to the Rams, it is what it is. They're a decent team. We lost. It is what it is. We move on. But then you compound that with losing to a team without a name and really without a clear path.
Right.
That was just
And
bad. That was just
the
bad.
Cardinals handled them.
Yeah, and you don't want to
It was
lose to
light
a
work.
team like that in the preseason. So even if it's a preseason type of match, you know what I'm saying? And then we got my boy Kevin who said we need Ertz to show up and stop dropping the ball. Big facts, big facts. Do you have your laptop? Can you send him the link?
No, I don't.
I'll
Tell
send
him.
you.
Can you
No?
send it to him?
Yeah, I think I can send him. Give me a second.
Or I can disappear for 2 seconds and send it to him.
Yeah, just send it to him.
All right.
Because it might kick us all out. Yeah, we'll get you in, team, man. Why not? Why not? Yeah, Wentz needs to get it together. I mean, I feel like we're using both of them more like just to kind of protect our offensive line, but even so, there was some catches that they both should have made. You know what I mean? But yeah, Ertz especially wants some big money. So if you want some big money, you better make some big plays.
Right. And I mean, yeah, especially that fourth and whatever it was, 4-3 or whatever, and it just slapped them right in the hands and went to the ground. I don't
Bruh.
expect anyone to be 100% catching. Not everyone is DeAndre Hopkins. Not everyone is Michael Thomas. But when you want to be known as, if not the third best tight end in the league, top two, you got to catch that ball. That was a catchable ball. That wasn't something where you're going to get knocked out or something like that. Like that was the easy. Not I don't want to say easiest because I'm not an NFL player, but from my spectating eyes, it was an easy catch. Then curl up on the ground if you don't want to get hit on the first down.
It was good. This guy with this hat. That's the face that he comes in with, like.
You guys won a game yet?
Before Damon goes
listening to two guys talk about an 0-2 football team.
Before Damon goes in, I want to say, as a fan of football, that was a pretty dope comeback. Like the Cowboys,
that was a terrible comeback.
Like I don't know how it happened. I don't know how the Falcons. Stephen A. Smith has been saying it all week. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 6 Falcon players watch that ball just spin, just like a Beyblade, just spinning around, and no one jumped on it. That was,
and I said it too. I forget. I think I was on a live, maybe. I don't know where I was, but I was like, "Yeah, we're about to lose this game." And somebody was like, "No, they're down by like 19, bro. Like it's not." I was like, "Nah, they're about to like come back, bro. I'm watching this shit happen." It was embarrassing. Yeah, I know. That's what I say, Philly Ground. But yeah, go ahead. Speak your piece, bro. I know you want to joke. Go ahead.
As much as I would love to just be like, yeah, we're better than the Eagles and we're better than Washington or whatever. The Cowboys should easily be 0-2.
Yeah, they should.
I don't know how in the world they won that game. I mean, I'll take it as a fan, and it was a great comeback to see it. But again, I'm a realist, and the Cowboys won the game. Yeah, it counts as a win, and I'll take it. But the Falcons literally just lost that game.
Right.
And I know it's easy to really look on the onside kick, but it happened before that. I mean, you're up by 15 with 4 minutes and 58 seconds to go. You should win that football game. Yeah, I mean, their defense was terrible. I mean, Michael Gallup got in by the butt cheek. I thought he was out at first until they, showed the replay or whatever. But I mean, to Dallas's credit, though, they showed a lot of resiliency. They could have easily just given up.
Right.
Dak played like Dak was a soldier out there. He played really well. I got to give him credit for that. But I mean, with that said, the NFC East is I thought it was bad last year. Good Lord, it is a horrible division.
Yeah, it's still wide open. But we have to, it is what it is. You can clip this if you want, maybe screen record that. I'm gonna say this, but right now, Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in our division. And it's not even close, to be honest.
I mean, we can argue all day, but the numbers are the numbers right now.
Yeah, it is what it is right now. So we're gonna come back though. You know what I mean? I still believe we have the talent to be a good team. It's just not coming together. You would think we changed our whole coaching staff the way we're playing. To be honest, it's
let me ask you guys this, and I'm really being objective here because I can easily just brag at you guys, but seriously being objective, like. It appears to be, at least from the outside. I don't see Eagle games because usually they're on the same time the Cowboys are on. But, it seems like Carson Wentz has regressed. It seems like he is not making the right decision-making that a quarterback in year 5 should. And, not even, compared to Dak. I mean, Dak and Carson, they've both been in the league around the same time. But, what is with Wentz? Is it because of the injuries? Is it because of the change of offensive coordinator from a few years ago? What's the issue there?
You want to take that first, Brandon?
Sure. I mean, I think there's a plethora of things. I think the injuries do play a part because we don't see.
Plethora.
I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but
no,
whatever.
That's perfect.
But I think the injuries are kind of messing with him psychologically. We don't really see him run the ball as much. When we do, he kind of looks a little uncoordinated when he's running for a couple yards up the field. And then the offensive coordinator, I mean, that's a big piece. That's the one question that we're all asking ourselves ever since Frank Reich left. And I forget the other dude's name that was also there during the Super Bowl season when Carson was phenomenal. It's kind of been like, all right, what happened to that magic? Where are these play calls that were being called during that time? So, I mean, like, I think everyone's trying to figure that out. And that's kind of right there is kind of like what's really standing out the most to me personally. Um, but I also feel like he low key still might be chasing Nick Foles, trying to be like, this is my city, Pennsylvania, this is my state, and I got my backup that won the Super Bowl, and I'm still kind of psychologically messed up from that. I mean, when you're competing your whole life and you're the top dog from youth league to whatever to when he was in college at the division he was in, and then you come here and your backup's the one that wins the big title and you did it. It's tough.
Yeah, no, I agree. Quick shout out to people, everybody comment. He said we need more chemistry, need more fight and more confidence. And then Tracy says our starting O line, starting lines on O and D is not healthy. Wentz has to get rid of the ball faster. He did okay the year we won, but Foles carried us, not Wentz. He will never be the same since his injuries, and I don't care for him at all. Sorry. She went in, bro. I almost ran out of breath. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize it was that in depth till I was halfway through. Unbothered says Carson Wentz needs to interact more with the team. Leaders needs to step up action and accountability. That's actually perfect timing of saying that because that's really how I feel about it. All right, so I'm not in a panic as far as Wentz's abilities. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody has their own part in what's going wrong right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not the execution of the plays is just not there right now. If you watch the film, a lot of times you have free running wide receivers, you have free running, even just running backs, check down options. He's not making the correct reads. You can put it on the offensive line. You can put it on the wide receivers as well. But I would have to say right now it's like 80-20. You know what I'm saying? It's like 80% on Wentz right now. And a lot of people gave me a lot of flack the first time I did that film room thing, just because they're like, oh, it's easy to watch the film and say this is what he should have done. It is, but I'm watching the same film that they are. You know what I'm saying? And I'm concluding this as a lot of Eagles fans, football fans in general are probably concluding. So if he's not seeing that in year 5, I feel like that's a bigger problem than worrying about his actual talent. I think he has the talent to be a great quarterback. And I'm not even too worried about the injuries at this point anymore. It's more if you're mentally not going to be elite when you are on the field, and we're not, and like to Brandon's point earlier, he said we're not going to be good, or he doesn't think that Hurts would do good if he was to step in. It's very true. Nobody's going to come into this offense and be able to carry it like Wentz was able to do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's a big decision. It's a big thing that Wentz has to take on. He has to basically kind of be the catalyst of the team. He's the point guard of our team. But that's what you get paid $100 million to do. So at some point, he's got to do it. So in my opinion, there is a lot of stuff around it. But a lot of it's just on Wentz. And it might be mental. Maybe he is chasing the ghost of Nick Foles. But as unbiased as I can say it, that's probably my answer, to be honest.
And now that we're talking about Wentz, now that Dak has played pretty well, I mean, maybe just last game compared to the first game, where do you see him getting paid? Like, how much do you think he is worth?
That's a good question.
Man, that's the hard question because, before the season started or, during the offseason, the easy answer was, give him a contract in and around Wentz and around Goff and around that area. It's one of those things where you have to see. I mean, we saw Deshaun Watson just got paid. So what's the market going to be at the end of the season? Nobody, I'm going to say this right from the get-go, nobody here in Dallas is saying that, Dak should get what Patrick Mahomes got. I don't even think Dak believes that. Just keeping it real. But I think Dak should get paid. I mean, Dak has literally done everything that you want a quarterback to do to at least get paid. He has done what Wentz has done. He's done what Watson has done. He's done what Goff has done. Who's better out of that group? That's for everybody up to debate. But he's definitely in that category to where he should, get his money. So what's the number figure looking at? I mean, right now you got to go in and around 40 million. I mean, is that
Right.
right? Is that wrong? I mean, again, that's up for debate. But if that's what Watson got, and it's too early to tell. It's only week 2 or going into
Right.
week 3. But if the Cowboys make the playoffs this year at 10-6 or whatever, and Houston doesn't make the play, they're sitting at 0-2 right now. If Houston doesn't make the playoffs, that to me only elevates the argument for Dak.
Right.
Yeah, and some wise man once said, it's not what someone's worth, it's what someone's willing to pay. So, the Cowboys, I'm sure there's going to be a team out there that is more than willing to pay for Dak's services. But you guys have a lot of, as do we, there's going to be a lot of changes in the NFC East next year. So it's gonna be interesting. 40 million is about right, though. They're going to have to come out of pocket for that boy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was listening. I mean, Carson has not been the same since he left. And I think it's a combination of everything you guys both just said, which, again, as Cowboys fans, perfectly fine with me. He can regress all he wants. But with that said, coordinators and coaches can make, a big heck of a difference. I'm seeing that this year. I'm going to be honest with you. If Jason Garrett is here last year, I think the Cowboys lose on Sunday. I don't think they come back. I don't think, and I just don't think it happens. McCarthy's been, criticized so far early on of being, way too aggressive. I'm not really. I mean, yeah, it bugs me sometimes, but I literally saw Wade Phillips and Jason Garrett never be aggressive for 14 years. The fact, literally, since I've known Brandon since my freshman year of high school. Literally since then, that was the last time the Cowboys were somewhat aggressive with Bill Parcells. But ever since then, to me, it shows a difference of McCarthy, right or wrong, he's going to trust these guys. And these guys are going to trust him. And to me, that's why they won on Sunday. If that had been Jason Garrett, it would have been 39-24 the final.
Yeah, I mean, the Falcons literally looked at the onside kick like they legit just kind of froze. Like
they're like, "Whoa, this looks cool."
I thought it was an edited meme for a second.
Yeah,
but
social distance from everyone and the ball.
Yeah.
But
wow, that got COVID. That got shout out to Simone Staley real quick. But go ahead.
We were talking about our matchup with the Bengals and how it should be, and this is the NFL, but this should be a win game for us. Now, that's our game. We're kind of lucky in the sense that that's who we get to play to hopefully kind of turn things around. You guys are looking at probably arguably the number 1 quarterback in the league. That dude is a beast. What are your thoughts for the Cowboys this weekend against the Seahawks?
I mean, I think Seattle should win. I think that, they're at home. I mean, Russell Wilson is a beast. Everybody knows it. There's no debating that he's not. But the advantage I think Dallas has this year compared to normal years when they go to Seattle is that there is no crowd. And that will make a heck of a difference playing on the road. Now, granted, Dallas has played pretty well in Seattle, even with the crowd, which is really weird because it's the Cowboys and they're predictably unpredictable. But they usually do play well in Seattle with the crowd. So, I mean, even though I think Seattle will win, I don't think it's going to be a blowout or any sort. I think it'll be, like a 34-24 type of game in and around there.
Yeah, I could see it being a shootout, to be honest. Like, I saw some stat that you guys had some crazy amount of 20-plus yard plays last week, and the Seattle Seahawks gave up a crazy amount of 20-yard-plus plays. So it just seems like it's a perfect mixture for it to be, Dak's 400-yard game again.
Right.
But
I mean, you guys got the weapons. If the Patriots can put up 30, I'm sure that you guys can probably put up something similar, considering the differential of talent on each team.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I think, Dallas is definitely going to score. I mean, I said 24 points, but I mean, if they get 30 or 31, I won't be surprised. I think that, I mean, this is a big game in the sense that if Dallas wins, it's like a statement game. It can be in the sense that, hey, we beat against Atlanta, we came back and won, and then the following week we go on the road and beat what many people think is one of the best teams in the NFC, with one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in football. So it's like, and Dallas can say to the rest of the league, at least, we're not, at least right now, we're not like the rest of the NFC East. We're a little bit different, but they have to prove it.
Yeah.
And as a Cowboys fan, good Lord, I hope they do. But can I honestly say that I'm optimistic about it? Absolutely not. But if they lose, though, again, I'm not mad because it's not like they're playing a scrub team. Seattle is a very good team.
Right.
Yeah, these next 2 weeks are going to be big for both teams, to be honest. Cowboys lead the series 11-9 with Seattle. So
it's pretty much even. They got the edge, but it seems to go like a back and forth.
Yeah, the last memorable Seahawks game for Dallas was the playoffs in 2018, where they won the wild card game, and Dak Prescott made a very big play. I think it was on 3rd and 14, and the Cowboys were rolling, and he was able to get right to the 1 yard line. The Cowboys ended up scoring a touchdown on the drive. I mean, to me, Dak is showing his leadership, and if he can literally take over a game, which that's kind of been the knock on him here. They're like, this offense runs through Zeke. Well, Dak, last Sunday was a big showing of, I'm the leader of this team. You're the quarterback. If he does that on the road in Seattle against Russell Wilson, that's a big statement right there.
Yeah, I mean, he has to. And I feel like it's been flip-flopped from last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, towards the end of last year, a lot of people were, like you said, kind of doubting his leadership, doubting his ability to come back and, win big games. And, that was a good start for him last week. I'll say that. I can't say he did great, but, that was definitely a good start for him. So he's on the right trajectory. And on the opposite end, you got Carson Wentz forgetting how to play football. I just don't get it. Now, I kind of want to switch gears away from our quarterbacks for a second. I want to ask you both a question. Now, with all these injuries happening, this is unprecedented, in my opinion.
Crazy.
Maybe it's because I'm paying more attention this year, but like I feel I've never seen this many like serious injuries.
What do you guys? Not even just like regular players. These are like stars.
Yeah. What do you guys like attribute them to, or like what do you think the root cause may be, or what the effect that it's having? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, I think I was looking at a stat where it was 7 ACL tears this past weekend. Like, that's insane. And the fact that both Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas, both on the defensive line, both tore the ACL, both in the same game, is crazy. I don't know if it's the preseason. I don't know if it's because they weren't able to get to the facilities earlier, like in the spring and everything, and kind of get their routines going, and they were at home and doing whatever at-home workouts they were doing and whatever nutrition that because they could have been just eating crappy and just not really taking care of the body, but working out. But when you're back at the facility, you have these trainers that are getting you football ready. So, I mean, I have no idea what this is to, but there's a lot of stars going out each week, and it's kind of sucks because, I mean, one of the exciting things is watching dudes like Michael Thomas on Monday Night Football and then not the Raiders, like solanking the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's clearly COVID. I mean, this whole the impact that it's had on the National Football League. I think it's obvious. I mean, this many injuries, different star guys, this early on. I mean, it wasn't a normal training camp. It wasn't a normal preseason. Quite frankly, it hasn't been a normal year. I mean, let's be honest, and I'm sure the players were thinking this too. In April, May, June, there was serious doubt if there would even be NFL football.
Right.
Heck, July and parts of August, people were still like, eh.
Yeah, because they kept canceling the preseason. It was like little increments that almost led to us being like, I don't even know why we're doing fantasy football. There's no season.
Right, exactly. So it's like when you see that, the players probably, some of them thought that too. Some players were opting out. I mean, we saw that a lot. They're like, so maybe, kind of what Brandon attributed to, they're probably the training, the dieting, the right taking care of your body probably was not the exact as it would be in a normal football year. So, I mean, we don't know the exact reason, but I mean, you have to assume this is definitely unprecedented, but it fits an unprecedented year of 2020.
Definitely, no, definitely. And now to keep on that train a little bit, talking about Michael Thomas. I don't know if you guys have been seeing. They've been kind of hanging that coach out to dry, kind of saying that he was running the score up, so to speak. They already won the game. It was unnecessary. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know if you guys have seen that at all or been checking that on ESPN, but just kind of
Who
want to
ran
get
up the
your
score?
thoughts.
Are you
They're talking
attributing the
about,
Saints against the Bucks?
yeah.
I think that um, I think that's Sean Payton trying to tell Tom Brady to shut up. This is our division.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a
is it
perfect answer.
risky? Yes, because you don't want anybody to get hurt. But I think the Saints wanted to let the Bucks know that we don't care what. It's very Bill Belichick if you think about
Yeah.
it. I mean, this is our division. We're the best team in it. You guys have a Hall of Fame quarterback. We have a Hall of Fame quarterback. Sean Payton's going to trust his guys, and yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say on that, and that's a perfect answer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It sucks. Like you said, you never want to see nobody get hurt, but I don't know. It's kind of a boneheaded decision, especially in this type of. So just get the win and go home. You know what I'm saying? It's week
Right.
2, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
I'm sure
so
if they played this coming up week, things would be different if he saw all the players getting hurt, and then he would be like, you know what? Maybe we wouldn't risk our star players any injuries or anything like that. So let's just run the ball and get out of here.
Yeah, facts. So how you guys liking your investment on CD?
I love CeeDee Lamb. That dude is a bad man. I liked him against the Rams in week 1. I liked him last week against the Falcons in week 2. I think this kid he's willing to put in the work. I like the chemistry that he's building with Dak, and I think I'm very optimistic about him. I think he's going to be.
Oh, you probably got a call or something.
Yeah, I got a call. I apologize about that. Yeah, and on top of that, I think it's one of those things where Michael Irvin told him to wear number 88. Number 88 is a very special number here.
Michael Irvin, or did Jerry Jones force him to wear 88?
No, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Number 80. Yeah. So, I mean, Drew Pearson wore it. Michael Irvin wore it. Des Bryant wore it. CeeDee Lamb's wearing it. So, I mean, I think we're in good hands with number 88.
Yeah, I just had to ask, because I feel like we still have buyer's remorse for not packaging that second round pick to go get him. But what about Saquon? You guys didn't even bring up Saquon in the injuries. That's huge.
Oh yeah, the fact that not only did the Giants have no expectations for the future, I mean not for the future, for at least this season, then you go ahead and you lose your franchise player. He's the face of the Giants. It's not Daniel Jones. It's not. I mean, they also lost their rookie safety early on that they drafted in the second round, I believe, McKinney or whatever his name is from Alabama. Could be wrong on that, but he got hurt, and then you lose Saquon. So it's just like, what do you chalk this season up to? Do you still try to fight to try to like show that you're not like a little rag doll of a team, or do you tank this season and try to get the best player available? I mean, you're not going to take Lawrence with the number like a top pick, so you're going to have to get like maybe the best offensive lineman, not a sexy pick, or maybe defensive lineman. I don't know what the Giants are going to do, but like the rest of us NFC East player teams, we could take another team doing bad because
yeah, I'll take it. Hey, Devontae Freeman's a good start, though. What are you thinking?
Say that one. I missed part of that. So I.
Oh no, it's we were talking about Saquon, how the Giants lost Saquon. I mean, Devontae Freeman's a good start, but what do you think? How that affects the Giants. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and the NFC East in general.
It's huge on the Giants. Number one, they have a new offensive coordinator, my former head coach. But the fact that there was no preseason and no training camp, and then you lose the best player on your offense, that's huge. You're a team that doesn't have a great offensive line. Saquon Barkley can create plays just by himself. He's, people have called him the modern day Barry Sanders. the closest
Yep.
that we've gotten since Barry Sanders. And the fact that he's gone this early, and you're trying to build your chemistry and your offense with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and those boys, that it's tremendous. It's a tremendous loss. And I mean, as a football fan, I hate to see it.
Right. Yeah. Saquon, like, all hate aside for, like, oh no, Giants rivalry, but Saquon's an exciting player to watch, especially
Yeah,
like when he's just
that
going down the
kid's
field
good.
and just hurdles people. It's
Yeah,
fun to watch.
facts.
Dude, it's crazy.
Right.
That's that Penn State boy right there. That's what I'm talking about. Now, another question I have: do you guys think Washington can be a real team? Do you think they have a chance to actually fight for maybe the division this year, especially since it's so bad?
I mean, yeah, I don't see why not. It's hard to chalk. Like, it's week 2. They didn't do too well against the Cardinals, so maybe that's just kind of like all right, they played a real team, and that's what it's going to look like whenever they play real teams. But you just never know. There's been a couple of years where Washington has surprised people, but then choked on the back end of the season. So, with our division, I don't know. I thought that we were going to go in and beat the Washington pretty bad, and that did not happen. So my predictions on Washington have I'm just going to leave it as maybe.
Maybe.
No. Straight up, no. I don't think Washington's very good. I know that, they're 0-1, but they could easily be 0-2. I don't think that, I don't know how Philly blew that lead, but I mean, it does happen. It's sports, but I don't think Washington's going to do that on a regular basis. I think for the most part, they're going to always, or in a lot of their games, if not all, they're going to be playing from behind. So and that's always a difficult thing to do in football. So no.
I mean, I don't even know who they play this week, but if they win, they're still technically in first place. So
I mean, sure. I think still, until I'm convinced otherwise, the division is Dallas or Philly.
yeah, I don't believe in. I don't want to say I don't believe in, but I don't see Dwayne Haskins being like a real quarterback in the NFL for that long. To be honest, I just don't think he has the skill set. But the Eagles, man, I don't know, man. I hate to say this. I love to talk my junk, but we suck right now, bro. We're pretty bad. Right
I
now,
thoroughly
so.
enjoyed your lack of Facebook at times with this
Bruh.
little run of the Eagles.
Well, like in 2017, I was like actually kind of humble. You know what I'm saying, for most of the year. So like maybe I have to go back to that and be a little humble, but it's hard. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? They need to have like an AA type of thing for just talking junk, because I'm missing it right now. But I think we'll get it together. I think the Cowboys had their moment. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's just what it takes. It just takes that moment that you're just like everything clicks and you get it and it shows on the field. You know what I'm saying? We've been able to kind of avoid some big injuries. Speaking of which, what about your offensive line? Didn't you guys like lose your right guard, and isn't there some, and your left tackle as well?
Our offensive line is literally beat up. And I think you saw a little bit of that in the first quarter against Atlanta. But I'm not too worried about it. It's one of those things where
That didn't sound convincing.
I mean,
Tyron Smith is coming back this week, so I feel comfortable about it. Zach Martin is there. Tyron's there. I know Travis Frederick retired, but Joe Looney I don't think is a bad center. So, I mean, Lael is concerning, and I don't particularly trust Connor Williams, although he had very high hopes and expectations that, he hasn't really lived up to when we drafted him a couple years ago in the second round. So, I mean, it's concerning, but as long as Tyron and Zach and Joe Looney are there, that makes me feel comfortable. But I guess for long-term health, my biggest concern is Tyron, because he is getting older. I mean, he's a stud when he's out there, but I've seen a neck injury now. I've seen shoulder injuries, back injury. So it's just the different types of injuries added up. You can't help but be a little concerned.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing. All right. How are those Stars doing? How's those Stars doing? Dallas Stars.
It's really surreal that they're on this run, because they weren't supposed to be here.
I'm kind of
They're three
surprised,
wins
to be
away, and
honest.
Tampa's a really good team, but like, it it's kind of like a little Cinderella run in a way. It's just if they do it, it's going to be great. If they don't, it's like job well done. You guys
Right.
you came in, and to think for really anybody, but the way the year has gone, the suspension of the season because of COVID, and it's like the Stars kind of came in hot. They weren't expected to win really any round that they have won, so good for them.
The stars aligned. You know what I mean? I feel like once I moved out to Colorado, there was Colorado Avalanche was supposed to be so good. I went to like 3 games, and every single game they lost. Like they gave up the comeback. Like one was like 3-0. I leave and they lose, and the other one was like 2-0. It was like I think I just bring bad luck to whatever fan base I'm at.
Hey,
So
you think you have it bad? Every time I go to a Cowboys game for free, Cowboys always lose.
Well, we
Whenever
need
I
you to get
buy
out there
tickets
then.
and spend my money, they win. I'm
yeah,
like,
we need you out there, man. I'll
We
go
need
buy
you
you
for
I get
that
free
Eagles
I get
Cowboys for
free
free.
games often. I don't want to go to them because they
Are you?
always lose.
Do they do the like what's it called, cardboard board cutouts like Philly's doing, or are you
No, they
guys
got some
allowing
No, the
fans.
fans
They
in?
got
Cowboys are allowing
fans.
fans.
Oh wow!
At 25% capacity, AT&T Stadium, they had 22,000, I think, there last week.
What are they doing with ticket prices? Is it like skyrocketed because of it?
I haven't looked, but I heard it's not super high as years past. But
That's not bad.
yeah, they're trying to get people out there. But I mean, it's risky, but at the same time, I guess they're looking at it as it's a 100. The stadium holds 110,000 people, so there is room for social distancing. But I mean, just you have to assume as sports fans that that if you get excited, I'm sure there wasn't some social distancing on
Yeah,
Sunday when the
Right.
you
Cowboys
running
were coming
6 feet
back.
to the
So
left, like oh.
exactly.
That's what's up, though. That's dope, though. Yeah, I'm in Tampa, so I kind of hope we. I say we like I'm an actual fan of the Lightning, but I'm hoping we win it. You know what I'm saying? We take that cup, baby. No, I think it'll be good for
Understandable.
the city, and I'm sure it'll be good for Dallas. I don't think you guys have won it in a while,
Well, yeah, the
if you
last time they
ever.
won was '99. I mean, it's
Well,
funny
okay.
because when the Cowboys lost Week 1, that was the same day the Stars advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, take this off. Where's my Stars at?" Like, there, at least we have them.
Yeah, it's great to have sports back in general. To
Right.
be
And we
honest,
100.
got all
Percent
of them at once. Crazy.
Although
Got
the sad thing is, there's about to be at least there'll be football, but basketball and hockey and baseball are going to go on a 2-3 month hiatus
yeah, but
yeah,
again.
I'll
it's
take it.
hard
That at
to
least
it's
we'll
hard
have
to
tape.
focus on other sports, like especially on Sunday, like if there's basketball on or something, or on Monday. It's just hard to like be like I'm into the playoffs, but at the same time I kind of want to watch this football game and see what's going on.
Right.
Although
So what
go
is
ahead.
the NBA Finals? How's that going right now? I haven't even watched, to be honest.
It's
Lakers,
Lakers
Nuggets, or
Nuggets.
Celtics, Heat.
Yep. Lakers are up 2-1. Nuggets just won. I think it was last night.
Yeah.
And then the Celtics Heat. I think that's a great series. I've watched some of the first game and when they went to overtime, everything. That's a good series. And I'm kind of low key rooting for the Celtics. Showing Kemba some love, some CT love.
As a Nets fan, I can't do that. But
I mean, that's
yeah,
the benefit I have of not having a basketball team. I can root for
yeah.
players.
Hopefully, he can just win it by himself. If like the Celtics don't get a ring, I'll be cool with that. Kemba could take it.
I'm rooting for the Celtics too. Really, I mean, for 2 reasons. Number one, I like Kemba for the UConn days. Number two, I don't know. I don't like Miami. I think it's because of the whole Mavs Heat thing, and I know the two teams are just totally different. But that stung me, and I'm just like, I know somewhere Dwayne Wade is watching the Heat, rooting for him, and I don't want that. So
Oh, for sure. For a
I'm just
fact he
rooting for
is.
and Dwayne Wade proved himself during the dunk contest because I'm just like, I can't stand this dude. I'm like, I'm done.
I'm done.
So I'm just
Yeah.
rooting against him. So that's really the only reason.
Yeah, I'm a LeBron hater, so I'll take anybody that doesn't have a LeBron nor a James on their team. So I definitely just hope the Lakers don't win. That's all I care about. if I'm being honest. Now Brooklyn can come next year and just swipe everybody out the playoffs, and it's over. You know what I'm saying?
How do you
It'll
feel
be.
about Steve Nash as the head coach?
I mean, we'll see. I think it's a Brooklyn Nets type of move. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot of weird stuff, to be honest. Like, he might do great. Don't get me wrong. You know, I know he has a good relationship with KD and Kyrie and everything. So maybe he can like manage their personalities. You know what I'm saying? But as far as X and O's, I don't know. We'll see. He was a very cerebral type of point guard, so it might help him as a coach, but I'm not too excited about that, honestly. I think our talent is just going to win us the, games that we win, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be great head coaching that's going to gonna put us over the edge.
Right.
But it should be interesting. But all right, you guys, it's been an hour. You know what I'm saying? It's time for everybody to go night-night.
All right, just
But
let's go to 2-1, and you guys go to 0-3, and then I'll be a very
get this guy
happy
out of here. Get this guy
I'll
out
meet
of
you.
here
I'll meet you at 1 and 2, brother. I'll meet you at 1 and 2.
now.
All right. But yeah, you already know what it is. I appreciate everybody that rocked in here. I do have a video that's about to drop literally as soon as I'm off of this live. So be ready for that. And yeah, you know what it is. It's fly, Eagles, fly, Tamar. You know what I'm saying?
cry, Eagles cry.
And we
Chill,
out here.
chill.
Win a game first.
No, we gonna.
Sunday.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Oh, the Bengals.
Beautiful.
We're about to go on a run. We're gonna take out the Bengals, the Steelers. We're gonna surprise the Ravens. It's gonna be fun.
Everybody.
You know what's so funny? Neither of you